Right now on the National Weather Desk.
The whole place is destroyed.
Tornadoes leave a path of destruction across Texas, damaging homes and businesses.
Praying was the word for it. Praying and cussing.
Baseball-sized hail pummels Missouri. Rising water floods Arkansas, and powerful winds damage buildings in Tennessee.
I stayed in the house and kind of held on to the bedpost.
A wildfire doubles in size in Florida's Everglades as the drought across the southeast shows no signs of letting up.
A little bit of rain is going to help us, but it's not going to get us out of this situation.
Water worries lead to new restrictions in Utah.
This is that much worse, and so we are truly in uncharted territory.
And rattlesnake season is off to an early start in California.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm meteorologist Jordan Evans. A tornado devastated a Texas town yesterday on the 6th straight day of severe weather here in the U.S.
The whole place, my dad's work, is destroyed. Look at the water pipe, busted, just blowing water out everywhere. It flipped 18-wheelers over and everything else out here. Y'all pray for everybody in Mineral Wells, Texas, guys. It's crazy out here right now.
He's talking about the scene in Mineral Wells, Texas there, about 80 miles west of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. The twister struck at 5 in the afternoon, damaging multiple homes and businesses across a wide area. Several people suffered minor injuries, but there are no reports of any deaths. This man's home was also among the damage.
There's my roof, there's my underpinning, there's my porch, there's my roof over there in that tree, my lawnmower.
Were you praying?
Praying was the word for it. Praying and cussing.
He lives in nearby Weatherford, Texas. The National Weather Service is expected to survey both sites today and determine the tornado's strength. Another tornado was caught on camera in eastern Arkansas last night. This was near the town of Brinkley, about an hour west of Memphis. As of this morning, we do not have any information about possible damage, but not far away, the same system triggered flash flooding in the town of Wynne. The water filled parking lots, buildings, and yards. In Missouri, the story was very large hail. It pounded the Springfield area in southwest Missouri, shattering countless windshields along the way. Some of those hailstones were the size of tennis and baseballs. That means they were between 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter. A 21-year-old emu at the Springfield Zoo died in the storm as well. In addition to vehicles, the hail shattered the skylight window at the local library and damaged homes across the community. Many people are still assessing damage and cleaning up from storms on Monday night. One of those areas in northern Arkansas where a tornado touched down in the Ozark Mountains, and Kayla Christian was there.
So right now we are in Stone County, more specifically Hanover right now. And as you can see behind me, there is a lot going on. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see it. There's actually a structure that has damage. This is one of actually 2 structures on a man out here, his property, that has been damaged. But if you look even further, you can actually see the trees that have been damaged as well. But then I know you're probably wondering about this cow. Yes, there are cows that have gotten out and they're kind of roaming free while their owner figures out what to do. But come over here and take a look at this. This is power lines, and they're not even sure whether or not they are live right now, but this is what many people woke up to this morning and are continuing to wake up to as the sun rises. And again, this is just a fraction of the damage that happened here in Stone County, and we are getting more and more updates as it goes on, but it's very clear that it's going to take a little bit for them to clear this up.
It was a similar story outside Memphis, where also Monday night storm damaged a factory. Dominique Dillon has the story.
The wind was blowing so bad, I stayed in the house and kind of held on to the bedpost.
Charles Kincaid works at an auto body shop across the street from a factory hit hard by the storm.
After it was over, I kind of peeked outside and see a lot of limbs down.
It appears as though the rough country factory sustained the most damage in the town. A portion of a wall ripped off, crumpled up like paper in a pile.
Wind picked up pretty bad, nothing but a lot of lightning. Tornado signs were going off. All I could do was just pray and hope that everybody was safe and sound.
An employee at Rough Country didn't want to talk on camera, but told Fox 13 he was working when the wall ripped away. He's grateful no one was injured. All 500 employees were off unless they were helping clean up.
You got to be prepared for anything, just you never know how bad it's going to get.
Now to wildfires that are still burning across the drought-stricken South. This one is in the Everglades National Park in South Florida. It's grown to 5,000 acres, more than doubling in size in just 24 hours. And unfortunately, the extremely dry weather conditions aren't expected to improve. That's a problem not just in Florida, but also to the north and neighboring Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp there addressed the drought conditions.
We're still in the worst drought that we've seen in 20 years. So I want people, our fellow Georgians and people around the country to understand that a little bit of rain is going to help us, but it's not going to get us out of this situation, and we're going to be dealing with this for quite a while.
And the two largest fires in Georgia have burned more than 50,000 acres. Hundreds of homes have also been destroyed. Now to the San Antonio, Texas area, where plans are in the works to get critical flood sensors back online. They're located throughout Bexar County and are meant to alert drivers before floodwaters take a deadly turn. Many of them are still not working. Some have been offline for years. Jordan Elder with our sister station has more.
Sensors like this activate when water rises, warning you when it's not safe to drive through. But across the county, we found more than a dozen marked in gray, meaning they're offline, some out of service for years. The San Antonio River Authority says that's actually an improvement, down from about 35 inactive sensors last summer.
So we've cut that in half, and we're still working towards those last few ones. And there's so many moving parts and agreements that need to go into place to get them down to all repaired.
What is the timeline for repairs for some of the ones that are currently offline? Because there are some, I think as far back as 2023, that say that they've been inactive.
So we're actively working on getting all the gauges repaired. But because of there so many moving parts, we still anticipate a few more months before those are up and running.
The deadline's still open-ended because the repairs are wide-ranging. Ants in the sensor boxes, vandalism, transmission issues between the sensor and the River Authority. Different crossings fall under different agencies, creating delays.
There are so many different players in the game, and we're working towards a future where that's all consolidated, and that's part of the Next Gen Flood Warning Program, is to consolidate all of these systems into one.
That overhaul, funded with millions in county dollars, is still about a year away.
We're working on building the network behind the sensors so that we can alert on more places, even if we don't have sensors there.
The River Authority says they are planning on adding more low water crossing sensors in the county in the coming years, and they're also applying for grant funding to install some warning sirens.
Utah state officials say spring runoff is already peaking for most rivers, and many cities are now imposing water restrictions because those conditions heading into the summer are looking extremely bleak. Brian Sheen is in Riverdale, where people are wondering what else can be done.
This is all that's left of spring runoff along the Weber River, where most water rights are off for the year.
This blows all of those out of the water. This is that much worse, and so we are truly in uncharted territory.
Little snow and what did fall went right into the ground instead of going to Utah's reservoirs, leaving residents like Rachel Larson with restrictions on their water.
I'm glad it's happening and hope that it can get better throughout the next year.
What would you like to see state officials do to help conserve water?
I think the restrictions are a good thing. I think keep doing it, keep encouraging the citizens to all participate, and maybe give out other ideas that we can continue to put our efforts forth as well.
Riverdale is just one of almost a dozen cities with water restrictions now in place statewide. I went to talk to the city about the restrictions, reducing all exterior watering by 20%, but they left me out to dry.
We've already seen some restrictions and some rationing. As the summer goes on, we'll see more and more of that kind of restrictions being put in place. We've got to reduce the amount of water we use. We just have to.
And coming up on the National Weather Desk, why are more rattlesnakes biting more people in California this year? Plus, the Ohio woman boating 6,000 miles through and around North America.
I'm meteorologist Charlie Lopresti with a look at the Northeast. We're tracking highs in the 50s and 60s for most of the Northeast today. A few spots may nudge 70 degrees, and a good chunk of Maine will be cooler with a lot of clouds and an onshore wind. They're in the 40s. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning. Notice some rain approaching from the west. Our best chance for getting wet today will be in New York and northern New Jersey. Just about all of New England will be getting wet with some rain, possibly heavy at times, for tonight and into the day on Thursday.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jueli with a look at your mid-Atlantic region. Likely going to see the showers and storms around for your Wednesday with rain across the area. 2 rounds possible as we move into Wednesday evening. By Thursday, drying out, breezy as temperatures are going to take a little bit of dive. Low 60s for highs on Wednesday, and we'll likely see 50s to low 60s going into Thursday. By Friday, spotty rain chances will be around.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Collins with a look at your southeast forecast. Heating up for your Wednesday with temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s across parts of central and south Florida, near the 90-degree marker across the Big Bend region, in the low 90s for northeast Florida. Slightly cooler and more mild conditions in the 70s for the Carolinas, where we're tracking the chance for showers and thunderstorms for parts of the northern Gulf Coast through Wednesday afternoon. Showers and storms will work their way east through Thursday morning into the Carolinas.
The National Weather Desk celebrates 250 years of amazing America.
In California, rattlesnake season is getting an early start with 3 deaths already this month. The warm start to this year has these creatures slithering out earlier, which is more risky for the local hikers. Alexis Bruno reports from Redding.
An early spike in rattlesnake bites is raising concerns throughout the state. According to the California Poison Control System, there have been 77 snake-related calls in just the first 3 months of the year, with 3 deaths in April alone. This is already exceeding the state's average of 1 rattlesnake death per year.
The more active time frame for them would be from usually early April through late October. But since this year we had the unusually warm start to the year, really in February, we started to see a lot more activity from rattlesnakes than normal.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife spokesperson Court Klopping says rattlesnakes are extremely common in the North State, especially in dry, rocky areas as well as waterways along the Sacramento River. Right now is mating season, meaning snakes are more active and more visible.
Rattlesnakes are out and about, and that is something that people need to be aware of. Certainly want to stay on those more well-used trails, stay out of areas of denser, thick brush.
Even water isn't always safe. Klopping warns that rattlesnakes can swim and are often confused with sticks in the water. If one bites you,
you'll want to stay calm but act quickly. Seek medical attention immediately at the nearest hospital, somewhere that's going to have antivenom.
Despite the spike in snake bite cases, experts say there is no need to cancel outdoor plans. However, it is important to take extra precaution.
In New York, it's tick season. Lara Bren from our Albany station went behind the scenes with the New York Department of Health testing forest areas for ticks. And these tick drags give them an idea of what's out there and how prominent ticks and tick-carrying diseases can be each year.
A walk through a park in Clifton Park turned up a handful of ticks within just a few minutes. State Health Commissioner James McDonald went along for the stroll, overseeing this tick drag at Veterans Memorial Park and Mooney Carice Forest. These drags are a regular part of the Department of Health's spring and summer workflow and are done at least 150 times all over the state.
We take these ticks, bring them back to Wadsworth, our state health laboratory, and then we identify what are the bacteria in the ticks so we know what diseases they're going to spread.
State officials say they will sometimes do these tick drags in 3 to 5 parks in one day and batch and analyze that data a few months later. The commissioner says it's best to wear long pants when you're out in an area likely to have ticks, preferably light colored so you can see them afterwards. Insect repellent with DEET and picaridin is best. And if you do spot a tick,
take a pair of forceps, tweezers, don't have to be metal, but just gently grab the tick by the, right near the mouth part, gently pull on it, and they come right off, right?
And remember, they're tiny, about the size of poppy seeds.
What's interesting about this is somewhere on here is a deer tick. Zoetes scapularis is its official name, but it's the same size of poppy seed. If you don't know what you're looking for, you will not find it.
The health commissioner wants people to know, even during bad tick season, so to speak, no one should fear going outside.
We need to get outside. Exercise is important. Go explore nature. Anything you can do to get a kid off a phone, I want to do. No reason to be afraid of outdoors, but if you don't look for ticks and manage ticks, you're more susceptible to their diseases.
More bugs, more snakes, and more animals. It's that time of year, but it's also the time of the year to start thinking about hurricane season. You need to prepare now so you're ready, not if, but when the next big storm hits. Meteorologist Jennifer Collins has more. All right, we'll see if we can get that story back up. In the meantime, a Cincinnati woman is going on the boating adventure of a lifetime. She's undertaking a 6,000 mile journey. So 6,000 mile journey through and around North America. Chelsea Sick has the story.
I am taking a fabulous adventure, and it's the Great Loop. Me and my little dog, just the two of us.
Cincinnati native Colleen Murphy believes she's the only local boater to take on the Great Loop solo, aside from her dog Callie.
She loves boats, but she has a lot of energy, so I bought a treadmill. I don't know if it's going to be for me or her, but...
This is the route. She'll start in Norfolk, Virginia, travel counterclockwise up to Canada and the Great Lakes, down to Chicago, to the Illinois River, and then the Mississippi.
I'll take a short trip home to Cincinnati, coming up the Ohio River, and then when I go back down, I'll take a left at Paducah and kind of continue down the Kentucky Lake System, Tennessee River, Tombigbee till I get to the Gulf. And then it cuts around Florida and back up to Norfolk.
Colleen's love for water and boats started growing up visiting Elk Lake in Owenton. In the 90s, while Colleen was at the lake, Audrey Staley and her husband Ted were completing the Great Loop.
The challenging parts of it for me were not having socialization, sometimes several days before you see anybody other than the two of us on the boat. And I like to talk.
Audrey became Colleen's mentor after the two met through the American Great Loop Cruisers Association.
What do you think of Colleen doing this on her own with her dog?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. She's very adventurous and she has a lot of support.
Colleen has been preparing for the trip for a year and a half, attending boating school and loop training. Now Colleen's boat, a 31-foot trawler, is going through maintenance before they leave in mid-May. Colleen says while she will spend most of the trip alone, she's looking forward to meeting others who are on a similar journey.
So I kind of compare it sometimes to like the Appalachian Trail, where even though you're on your own journey, your own pace, your own adventure, other people are kind of following the same journey, and you might meet up with people along the way.
And time now for a short break, but first we take to the skies over New Orleans, Louisiana.
Well, a very good Wednesday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. Pretty quiet weather across most of the plains today, but the Ohio Valley and lower Great Lakes going to be dealing with some scattered rain showers as we go through your day today. Jumping into the day tomorrow, staying rather mild across most of the Midwest, with just a few stray showers. And as we continue on into your Friday, that shifts more into Indiana and Ohio, while the rest of the Midwest staying dry.
Well, a good Wednesday morning to you. Meteorologist Chris Suchan. Look at our forecast today across the region. Starting off with a little bit of a rain chance across central Texas with a little bit of heating of the day. Highs 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Notice the scattered storms. Central Texas east into Louisiana, a little bit of Arkansas. We're going to see more cloudiness and another round of a little bit of storminess during the day on Thursday across the region. Scattered showers of storms with highs 60s, 70s to low 80s.
Well, hi there, everybody, and a wonderful Wednesday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell. Out west, things are going according to plan. We often see the May gray show up a little bit early on the west coast around San Francisco and LA. That's why temperatures will stay just in the 60s right near the Pacific versus 83 in the interior in Vegas and 90 today out of Phoenix. Meanwhile, the Pacific Northwest also enjoying a warm up here as we round the corner to the end of April. Quite a bit of sun showing itself for Seattle and Portland. And that's the scene from here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Are you passionate about the weather? Would you like to help meteorologists measure rain, hail, and snow? Well, meteorologist Joy Bettenhausen tells you how you can help.
Have you ever been given a rain gauge and just don't know what to do with it? Or have you wanted to be involved in community weather reporting and didn't know where to start? I've got a solution for you. So have you ever heard of COCO-ROS? Now, you know meteorologists love a good acronym. It's up here, Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. It's a place where you can take daily or hourly rain, snow, or hail measurements and submit them for meteorologists, hydrologists, researchers, etc. to use. So type COCO-ROS in your favorite web browser, and here's what the homepage looks like. These are our rainfall totals through about 8 a.m. I'm telling you, may wonder, why does my random rainfall measurement in my backyard matter? Well, it could help for severe thunderstorm forecasting, it could help me put my rainfall totals graphic together, and it could help for river and lake forecasting as well. So if you're interested, super simple, fill out the form, make sure you have an approved rain gauge, and I hope to see your rainfall total soon.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm meteorologist Jordan Evans. Make it a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.